Hello. This is my first. I have another account, but I forgot the password to it because I'm smart like that. So, I'm going to be reading a poem. The author's unknown, but it's not mine. The title is Daddy's Day. It's kind of long. I'm not a really good reader, so, don't hate that I mess up, please. Because it's not. I hate it. Okay, here I go. Her hair up in a ponytail, her favorite dress tied with a bow. Today was Daddy's Day at school, and she couldn't wait to go. But her mommy tried to tell her that she probably should stay home, while the kids might not understand if she went to school alone. But she was not afraid. She knew just what to say, what to tell her classmates on this Daddy's Day. But still her mother worried for her to face this day alone, and that was why once again she tried to keep her daughter home. But the little girl went to school, eager to tell them all about a dad she never sees, a dad who never calls. There were daddies along the wall in the back for everyone to meet, children squirming impatiently, anxious in their seats. One by one the teacher called a student from the class to introduce their daddy. As seconds slowly passed, at last the teacher called her name. Every teacher turned to stare. Each of them were searching for a man who wasn't there. "Where's her daddy at?" she heard a boy call out. "She probably doesn't even have one," another student dared to shout. And from somewhere near the back she heard her dad say, "Looks like another deadbeat dad too busy to waste his day." The words did not offend her as she smiled at her friend and looked back at her teacher who told her to begin. And her hands behind her back she slowly began to speak. And from the mouth of a child came words incredibly unique. "My daddy couldn't be here because he lives so far away, but I know he wishes he could be with me on this day. And although you cannot meet him, I wanted you to know all about my daddy and how much he loves me so. He loved to tell me stories. He taught me to ride a bike. He surprised me with pink roses and taught me to fly a kite. We used to share fudge sundaes and ice cream in a cone. And though you cannot see him, I'm not standing here all alone. 'Cause my daddy's always with me, even though we are apart. I know because he told me he'll forever be in my heart." With that, her little hand reached up and lay across her chest, feeling her own heartbeat beneath her favorite dress. And from somewhere in the crowd of dads, her mother stood in tears, proudly watching her daughter, who was wise beyond her years. For she stood up for the love of a man not in her life, doing what was best for her, doing what was right. And when she dropped her hand back down, staring straight into the crowd, she finished with a voice so soft, but its message clear and loud. "I love my daddy very much. He's my shining star. And if he could, he'd be here, but heaven's just too far. But sometimes when I close my eyes, it's like he never went away." And when she closed her eyes and I saw him there that day, and to her mother's amazement what she witnessed with surprise, a room full of daddies and children all starting to close their eyes. Who knows what they saw before them? Who knows what they felt inside? Perhaps for a merely second they saw him by her side. I know you're with me, Daddy," to the silence she called out. And what happened next made believers of those once filled with doubt. Not one in the room could explain it, for each of their eyes had been closed. But there, placed on the desktop, was a beautiful, fragrant pink rose. And a child was blessed in only a moment by the love of her shining bright star, and given the gift of believing that heaven is never too far. And that's the poem. And the first time I read it, I started crying. It was sad. And again, I'm sorry for messing up. Subscribe!